Hey guys, it's Zach from the Concon channel, and in this video I'm going to give you a review on the Delta Force beta. Now when you first launch the game, there's going to be 3 game modes that are presented to you: Warfare, Operations, and Black Hawk Down. Now just for a quick rundown, Warfare is essentially your multiplayer aspect of the game where you play on large maps, attack and defend, and just fight other online enemies in big maps. Then Operations is almost like your extraction shooter where you mainly verse AI opponents, but your squad is made up of online players of 3. Then we have Black Hawk Down. This is currently not available in the beta, but assuming from the description it says experience movie-like combat in ultra high graphics with the classic IP reboot. So I'm assuming it's just going to be a remastered version of Black Hawk Down for players to enjoy. Now if we go into the Warfare menu, I'm just going to run you down through everything that is here and how everything works. So once you start, you're going to get into this menu. If you go to the bottom right, this is where you can select your modes. So your first mode is going to be attack and defend. This is essentially going to be played on very large scale maps where one team needs to attack with a specific amount of lives and the other team needs to defend, and they have unlimited lives. Now on the map there are going to be multiple objectives, so there'll be segments. For example, 5 segments of the map are going to be taken up by the defensive team, and the attacking team will start in a small section and they need to complete each segment until they reach the other end of the defenders region. Once they have done that successfully, they'll win the match. But obviously if the enemy team or the attackers lose all their lives, they'll obviously lose the match. Then we have King of the Hill. King of the Hill is like your typical battlefield open big map where you can use vehicles, go on foot, use boats, but there's going to be just multiple objectives and both teams will try to be claiming those objectives. Now all you need to do is just claim the objective, and whoever scores the most points from the claimed objectives wins the game. Then we have attack and defend threshold. This is essentially the same thing as attack and defend, but shorter. Then we have blitz. Blitz is literally just the quick version of King of the Hill, so nothing special about that. And then we have the A and D drill. Now this is essentially the attack and defend game mode, but everyone is going to be AI, including your teammates. Now the reason for this game mode is to actually practice the game, to try out vehicles, weapons, abilities for your characters, and so on. Then if we go back, we have loadouts. So loadouts is assigned to each of your characters, being assault, support, engineer, and recon. Now the nice thing about this game is with the loadouts, everyone, no matter the class, can run the same weapons. So although the game will assign specific weapons to each class, as you can see, support has a submachine gun, engineer has an LMG, and recon a sniper, you can use any gun that you want on any character. And you can do so and make those changes in game as well. Then if we go to operators, these are all the operators you currently get in the game. There are a total of 8, but you can only play 1 per each class, which is going to be 4 in total. So we have D-Wolf with his specific abilities called Motorized Exoskeleton, which pretty much gives him like speed boost and makes him quite fast. He has his triple blaster, which shoots 3 explosives. They're almost like mini grenade launchers kind of thing. It's kind of weird, I'm not too sure. It's like a grenade launcher, but it doesn't explode immediately on impact. Then he has a tactical smoke grenade, which is exactly what it says, and a tactical slide, where his slide pretty much just takes him a lot further than normal. Then we have Stinger, which uses a Hive-Tech pistol. This is a healing pistol, so you can heal yourself and you can heal your teammates. He has a smoke screen, which uses drones to make a smoke path. Then he has a Hive-Tech smoke grenade. It's just pretty much like a normal grenade. And then Expertly Rescue. He can obviously heal faster and res teammates a lot faster. Then we have Shepard. This is the engineer. He uses sonic paralysis. This pretty much just slows enemies down, so it'll get attached to an enemy and it'll slow them down. And he has a sonic trap. I think when enemies get into it, I haven't experienced it yet, nor have I gotten someone in the sonic trap yet. I think it dazes their screen, or it makes them almost like concussed. Then we have Luna. She has a detection arrow, which is pretty cool. It's almost like a recon arrow, so when you shoot it, it'll actually do a sonar detection and it'll scan enemies through the wall. Then you have the Vault arrow. This can actually bounce off walls, or you can shoot it into one location, and it's essentially like a, let's just say, a direct hit stun grenade. Then she also has a grenade, and then she has enemy analysis, so she can scan enemies through the wall with her special ability. Then we have all the vehicles in the game. This is just standard. And if you click on the vehicles to modify them, you can actually add like different weapons to the vehicles, which is pretty interesting. As you can see here, high explosive shells. We can also have coaxial heavy machine gun and different things like that. It also has a weapon station, so different, obviously we can attach different weapons to this vehicle, a weapon pod, and a commander. Then we can also change its appearance with different skins and so on, as you can see right over there, and it goes the same for all the other vehicles. Then if we go to the bottom, we have an open chat. Don't know how it essentially works or what chat it's connected to, but it's just there, I guess. It has different sections such as just the normal world chat. Then here's the world chat again for some reason, a private chat, a squad chat, and then a squad up chat, which obviously will help you find teammates if you're looking for players to play with. Then we have the season pass, which is called the Genesis season, and this is essentially just your battle pass that you get with all these different rewards for the operations and warfare game mode. Then if you want to buy the battle pass, there's 3 different battle passes. So there's a warfare special, which gives you loot and exclusive rewards for the warfare game mode. And then you have the operations special, which is the same thing but for the operations game mode. And then you have the deluxe one, which is a mixture of 2, and you kind of get a Delta ticket, which is currency to buy some cosmetics. Then we get to the store. There's 3 cosmetics you can currently buy: the Power Surge Bundle, Fury Owl Bundle, and the Mandel Brick Spectrum. If we take a look at the Fury Owl Bundle, it's 5,200 Delta coins. So you can check that out to see how much that costs for you, but in my opinion, it's quite expensive. Then if we go to packs, you can buy just straight up weapons and bundles for actual money. As you can see here, this bundle cost me 15 Rand. And if we go over, there's a bundle for 50 Rand. And then you can buy more weapons for Delta tickets, which is the same as Delta coins. Now, if we go to the market, this is also a pretty interesting thing about this game. You can actually sell your weapons to real people. So, for example, if you unlock this gun, you can purchase it for real money, which is very interesting. This concept is obviously very similar to those CSGO where you can buy and sell skins. Then there are events in the game that you complete. Now there's operation events and there's warfare events. So these are events where you just have to complete specific tasks in game. So for example, play 1 warfare match and it'll unlock you some combat ribbons. You'll get a bunch of events, which is pretty cool. It gives you something to grind for and some things to play for, and you can change the mode to operation to do the events for the operation mode. So then if we switch to operations is like your typical extraction shooter where you have to loot gear and get out with that loot, and if you die, you obviously lose the loot. But to start us off, we have a stash, and as you can see, this is what the inventory looks like. It looks very similar to Tarkov, and here's what my stash currently looks like. You can upgrade your black site to increase its stash capacity, and then we have our operators, the same thing as the warfare game mode. This is just telling us the operators and what they look like and so on. Then we have departments. These are going to be your missions that you almost try to do in your operation, so this is like an add-on objective. Then we have our auction. This is where you can list and buy items you find in operations. So this is the purchase category. The list category unlocks at level 3, and then you have your records to see when you bought and for how much you bought your items for. Then we have our black site. The black site is the hub of the operations. You can upgrade your black site. As you can see, our stash is level 1, but you can upgrade all of these different features of the black site. You can even produce firearms and attachments, ammo, meds, helmets and weapons, all sorts of things just from upgrading your black site. So this game mode is essentially there for the people that love to grind and love that extraction shooter kind of game mode. Now if we go to the far right in the menu and we go to gunsmith, this is where you can actually modify your guns. Now it's a little bit different from the warfare game mode, whereas in the warfare game mode you have to level up weapons to unlock attachments, whereas here you need to either buy or collect these attachments in operations in order to be able to put them on your weapon. You can also calibrate your guns, which is pretty cool. For example, if we take one of our assault rifles with a scope, we can actually modify the optic for its different zoom effects and pupil distance, obviously changing the magnification. And then you can obviously create your loadout, and within the loadout section for each of the guns, you get these recommended builds, which is essentially like pre-builds for the weapon that you are currently choosing or want to choose. Obviously, we don't have all the attachments, so it's not going to be able to put the attachments on the weapon, but you'll obviously then get that blueprint and it will tell you which items you need to buy. Then if we go to appearance, we can see all the camos that the guns can take, as well as the charms that you can put on your weapons. So now I'm going to give you my general thoughts on the gameplay of the Delta Force beta. Now, I'm going to say this, it's a mixture of Tarkov, Call of Duty, and Battlefield. When I say Call of Duty, the gameplay feels very similar to Call of Duty. It's fast-paced, action-packed, always things happening, doesn't feel too realistic. The guns aim in really quickly, there's not a lot of bullet drop-off, and so on, things like that. If you've played Call of Duty, you'll understand what I'm saying. And when it comes to the Battlefield, it's more the game modes and the way the game is laid out. So it's like the game modes are very similar to Battlefield, like very similar. Obviously, I feel like this game has taken some inspiration from that, but it's very similar. The game mode, specifically the attack and defend game mode, where you get the points on the map and you progress the more you get those points on the map, as well as the different roles. It's almost like the menus are almost set up very similarly to Battlefield as well, with the way, you know, you launch into a match and you choose your characters and the way you die, and you can sell your weapons and you can buy weapons with the currency. And the thing is, you can even buy and sell to real people for actual money, so that's pretty crazy too. I would say that the prices of the store bundles are quite expensive, I can't lie. I guess this is a free game, so they're trying to make money somehow, but it is quite expensive. But yeah, the game is generally, it's not bad. If you like those kind of games, you'll enjoy this. It feels, you know, it does feel fun to play. I think if you play in a squad, it's going to feel really nice, because it doesn't feel like it is very like serious game. Like, I don't feel like I'm stressing. I don't feel like, yeah, people are taking it like super seriously. Like, it's an enjoyable experience, because it's like, I want to say arcadey. Like, it's a game that you just play, you have fun, and then that's that, you know. I'd also just like to add that I didn't really experience that many bugs, and the gameplay was generally smooth, even though I was always playing above 100 ping. So I was quite happy and surprised by that. So I'd say in terms of the actual like playing the game, it was actually an enjoyable experience. I can't lie, like, it was quite fun. I would say that the operations game mode is for those who want to grind something. You know, there's a lot to grind for in that operations game mode, whereas the multiplayer is like, you know, it's, the matches aren't too long. They're a little bit long, but they're not too long. Now, just to wrap up my thoughts about this game is free to play, so that is probably going to be the biggest thing about this game. It includes all the Call of Duty, Tarkov, and Battlefield aspects all into this one game. So if you enjoy those kind of games, you'd probably enjoy this. Like I said, when I was playing this, it felt very much like Battlefield to me, with a Call of Duty kind of engine. It felt very arcadey, not too realistic. And when it comes to the Tarkov aspect, it's that operations game mode. It feels like your typical extraction shooter. And the one thing is that although these games include all those games, and if you enjoy them, it's going to be fun, it doesn't really have anything that is super unique to it that sets it apart from those games. I felt like this is just a free-to-play version of all the games that you may enjoy into one game. So I guess if you enjoy those games, then this game is for you. There's a lot of things to do in the game, a lot of content to grind and events and things like that. So they have added quite a few things to do. The only issue is when it comes to the cosmetics, they are very expensive, super expensive. And obviously having the live selling marketplace where you can sell your actual weapons to actual people for money, that is also going to be very interesting. But yeah guys, that is going to be the review for the Delta Force beta. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and thanks for watching.